The Halcyon holster, designed for both appendix carry and strong side. The first option that it comes with is the DCC monoblock. Replaces the old foamy clip. It has a number of attachment holes so you can adjust ride height and cant. As you can see here, the P30, most popular choice probably for strong side carry, and left it loose so we can see how much room you have. You can adjust the angle of cant there pretty easily. Comes standard again with a mod wing, which shown here without the claw tip simply bolts right in. If you don't want any grip rotation on that at all, simply leave it as it is. When you put it in line, you see how there's nothing there to interfere with that. Comes with two different heights of claw tip shown there. It also has the option of coming with the Dark Star Gear dark wing. Perhaps the second most popular option is the soft loops. This holster is a little bit older, and so it doesn't have the range of holes. However, all the new models they're shipping do come with those. And I just wanted to show the soft loops because that's what that looks like. On the back, we have some Velcro for a foam wedge and demonstrating a full height guard which covers the rear sight. Now, even so, it's optic compatible. And if you have a gun like the P30 or Beretta or something with larger controls, it completely covers that. I strongly recommend at least a mid-height guard, and I tend to bring those up a little bit higher. For most, the mid-height guard would be down about here, but that will keep those controls from being changed. You don't really want that safety coming off while you're wearing it. And so I come here to my personal preference on setup, and these clips look kind of funny because they're loose and they've fallen out of position. But I really like the double discrete carry concepts mod 4s, I think. These are the adjustable, these are the AIWB models. They will slide up and down. Let's see if I can do this here. They'll go up and down so you can adjust your ride height. And you notice that it may look a little funny because these holes here are not parallel with these. And I did that for a reason. This clip sits lower starting out. You see there's a little bit of adjustability sideways, even though that's not what it's designed for, so that you can drop this at a reverse cant. Some people like to drop that grip just a little bit down. Fits their hand grip better as they come in for an appendix carry draw. But if you don't like that, if you like to go perfectly level, that's no problem. You simply raise it up. And we've got a number of holes here on the slide that allow you to raise it up even further and drop the whole grip lower if you'd like. I'm careful on all my holsters to completely cover the trigger guard so nothing's going to get in there, offering good safety. You'll always get that nice positive retention. Turn it upside down, give a little wiggle, it's not going to fall out. If you give it a big shake, yes, it's coming out, because if it didn't, you wouldn't be able to draw it very easily. The retention is adjustable. You got two screws here on the back side. Tighten down the top one a little bit to get a little more retention. If you play with the combination of these, it can basically act like a seesaw, with the middle one being the fulcrum. So you can fine tune that. Once you're done, you're gonna have to put the included Loctite thread locker, I should say, on every single screw this thing has. All right, I do sell replacement hardware, but if you don't use the thread locker and you lose your hardware, which you will eventually, I will be remorseless and charge you for it. So don't do that. This comes with the option of being a little bit long. This is a full-size VP9, but you can see how there's a little bit of what we might call dead space down there at the end of the holster. It's roughly equivalent to the VP9L. I like that because at the appendix carry position, it makes it much more stable. And I'm going to put this outside my pants, but inside my belt to demonstrate just how long it is. And these DCC clips are the most difficult to get on. However, they are my favorites because unless you're constantly taking your holster off and back on during the day, you can see a few seconds there. It's no big deal. Now, the reason I like them is because they grab the belt. All right, so you can see I've got it just off my center line, still high enough that I can get a full grip, or at least the full claw grip. My fingers are all the way under. And I like these two because spaced apart, they grab the belt quite strongly, and they don't really allow the gun to shift back and forth, which, as much as I love Discreet Carry Concepts as a company, their mono block does not completely grab my belt well enough, and the grip will commonly shift down and not leave me quite enough space to get a full grip. So I like the Mod 4s because spaced apart a little bit, they give me more stability. Now, you can see it comes down to about here. And when I sit, that fits perfectly, doesn't crush anything, leaves me plenty of room here. I can sit and drive. I have done 12-hour days cross-country driving and been fine with that. Fitting an appendix carry holster to you is a lot more like fitting a prosthetic than simply buying some off-the-rack clothes and throwing them on and calling it good. It's like going to a tailor to have them really make you look sharp rather than simply buying something off the rack at Walmart. It's going to be a huge difference. It does take time, and that's worth the effort. What matters is adjustability. You've got to tweak it just a little bit one way or the other, up, down, left, right, in, out. All of these things, quarter an inch in any direction makes a huge difference. You can go from incredibly painful to working perfectly. And so that's why I've got so much adjustability on these. I do not have an integrated wedge for two reasons. Number one, not everybody wants them. If you're carrying strong side, you're not going to want that. And also, even for those of us who are carrying appendix carry, we don't all need a wedge. And if you have a wedge, sometimes that creates an added bulge, gives us a little extra junk down there, and that is, of course, counterproductive. But if you want a wedge, you can get it. And if you want the holster cut down because you don't want that extra length, I understand. Just remember that if you're not sure, unless you're very small, roughly in the 5 foot range, you probably are going to do well with a full size holster. By which I mean just a regular VP9, not the VP9L. A G17 length, not a G34 length. However, I can go up to the G34 long size on almost every gun. Not every, but most of them. And if you're not sure, just send me an email, ask me, and we'll work things out.